on the government. That's the Clower
Sure.
strategy.
Oh, you think order from chaos? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly.
And just a little bit of Hegelian dialectic tossed in there for flavoring.
Good measure. Yes.
Right.
But you know what's amazing to me is how many theories, I mean, harebrained theories there are about what this is. I mean, I'm like going, gee, they just keep making this stuff up. It gets more outrageous by the minute.
It definitely does.
But there's a pretty easy theory that I've come up with. Would you like me to bring that up now?
Yeah, go ahead.
That was one of the reasons.
Okay. Well, you know, the last Bundy Ranch trial with where Eric Parker and Scott Drexler were, the jury was hung on both of them on the weapons issues with them. And it was only one juror. 11 wanted to acquit, and the 12th one couldn't let go of it because she had a childhood gun trauma where a gun was held to her head. And she mentioned that 3 times in deliberations, and the rest of the jury wanted her off the jury. And they, got to the judge and everything, and the judge wouldn't go for it. No, because she knew what that meant. That meant a full acquittal. And they weren't going to go for that. So they would not allow that juror to be replaced. And so I think what the government learned from that is, a gun trauma can hang the jury, can get us a conviction. And so they had no way to buy off the whole jury. That would just be too traceable and stuff. So what do these sociopaths do? They create a massive gun trauma with the largest, mass shooting in history right there in Las Vegas. And the connections are really kind of bizarre. When you think it's, we have music festivals. Michelle, we have music festivals every weekend here, right? Multiple ones.
Yes.
Could have been punk rock, could have been rock and roll, could have been jazz, could have been anything. But it's a country festival? Mm. Well, country equals cowboy where I'm from.
Right. And it equals mostly white Christian patriots.
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. And it also, and then we have the supposed shooter being from Mesquite. And if you're not from Nevada, you wouldn't know that Mesquite is right next door to Bunkerville, which is where the Bundy Ranch is.
Yeah.
So they're trying to put that in people's minds. But, we're not the only people that picked up on this or how detrimental this could be, because here I'm going to share, let me find out where I put it. I'll just share the motion to continue trial. Matter of fact, can I share my screen? Would that be okay?
Yes, sure. Of course.
Okay, good. And I'll show you this, and I'll put the link in for it as well. And I just want to share this. Doug Knowles from It Matters How You Stand. He's done a great job with this website. If you want to keep up on the Bundy thing, this is a great website to check it on. He puts all the court documents and stuff. But this is a motion that was just filed. And Tuesday morning, it was pretrial hearings all morning in the tier 3 and the rest of the tier 1. For tier 1 and the rest of the tier 3 people. So here it is, and this is from Ryan Payne's attorneys, Brenda Wexler and Ryan Norwood. And so what they're asking for is, last night the worst mass shooting in the history of the United States happened in Las Vegas. In this unimaginable tragedy, a gunman with multiple rifles, at least 58 persons, blah, blah, blah. They go on far. Las Vegas is in mourning. People are shocked and outraged at this this act of senseless violence in our community. President's coming on Wednesday. And they're going, people will be attending funerals over the coming 3-day weekend. Payne's trial is scheduled to start the next day. This is not the time to pick a jury and commence a trial in this case. To be sure, Payne and the other defendants in this case have nothing to do with this act of mass murder. The shooter's actual motivation and beliefs remain unclear at this point. However, it is clear that this unprecedented act of violence will prevent the defendants from having a fair trial in this city 1 week from now. The shooter is a white male reported to be from Mesquite, Nevada, only a few miles away from the Bundy Ranch and the site of the April 12, 2014 events in the wash by Highway I-15. Regardless of the facts, when and if they all come to light, many people will have and will associate him with Cliven Bundy and his supporters, who have been previously described as domestic terrorists by Nevada Senator Harry Reid and others. The shooting has immediately led to discussions about guns, with much negative attention focused on the perceived laxity of gun laws on persons who choose to bear and carry high-powered firearms as is legal in Nevada. And it goes on and on to talk about this, and people want to, maybe look at this. Sheriff Joe Lombardo has been prominently featured in the news in the wake of the shooting. He was present near the wash on April 12th, an important witness, and will likely testify along with other officers. They'll be unable to fairly assess the credibility of the government's, witnesses. Absolutely, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I think this is and so they go on with the rest of this and shows and they're going for a continuance, which I know a lot of the defendants don't want. They're ready to go on this. I mean, the government doesn't have a case, and it shouldn't be and as much as they want to go to trial, I think it would be a mistake at this time, and I think this has been staged. I mean, 7 days later, 7, 8, the 9 days after this horrific shooting is when they're going to be picking a jury. And it's very obvious to a lot of the Bundy supporters that there's always multiple agendas with these things. But me, this is the first and foremost one, with the timing of it, the country music, the fact that the guys supposedly from Mesquite
Are all cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is such an interesting take on it. Like you said, people who live there, it may have come into their mind right away, but people that don't live there, I don't think, that people have really put two and two together.
No, because they don't know about the trial schedules and things like that, and how it connects.
Well, and they don't know about Juror 11 and her gun trauma, and now this is mass gun trauma.
Right.
For the potential juror pool. So let's get real, guys.
Yeah, I think they were thinking, I think when they saw that with that last juror, in that they said, oh.
Ding, 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 right?
Yeah, let's create some more gun trauma.
Yep, and let's add to the already planned agenda. Let's make it worse. Let's compile
different ways to
tragedy
live.
on top of confusion, on top of chaos, on top of exactly. Speaking of all of the contingency factors relative to this shooting, there was a military Department of Homeland Security drill that was happening on. Supposedly, part of that drill was to update and upgrade the metal detectors in all of the strip hotels. How convenient, right?
Yeah.
So what that brought to my mind was, remember when they hired a new security firm at 9/11, and they went floor by floor after everybody had been out of the building for 4 days? What happened during those 4 days?
Oh yeah, and
my premise here is that the metal detectors were not updated. The metal detectors on who you ask and what day the report is coming, up past security, past surveillance cameras, and past metal detectors. Give me a break.
Yeah, so even more than the gun control issue, we might be seeing more of a security type thing this time around. Where we're going to see TSA type departments all over the place, at the movie theaters, at the government agencies, at concerts, at malls, at schools, and
and Sheldon Adelson came out on that same 4chan post, or he was quoted as saying that he wants to ramp up metal detectors and have them all over Vegas. And then I looked at the story of New York City and those strange tall metal towers that are going up everywhere.
Right.
Those seriously look like some kind of security devices to me.
Or surveillance devices or whatever.
They're very odd looking.
Yeah. So Angie and I keep on saying that we're in 1984.
Yes.
And here it is, and it's really, and it's here. It's not a conspiracy anymore.
And the funny thing is, all they're showing is, oh, here's the hotel room, and you see some feet and guns laying around. Really? Those hotels are so well videoed.
Yeah.
I mean, they know who came in, what entrance you came in, what elevator you got in to go to your room. All that is videotaped. So why aren't they showing us this man bringing in the weapons?
Because it's still under investigation, according to Lombardo. Remember, every word he says is, I can't comment on that because it's under investigation.
Yeah, well,
how convenient.
Yeah, how convenient is right.
So when we were talking,
it doesn't hold water.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
This thing does not hold water in any way, shape, or form. And like FDR said, nothing happens by accident.
No.